Hey, what's up, listener? Thanks for pressing play on this episode of the Jock and Nerd Podcast. We get excited for Deadpool 2 and take a look at the early reviews and all the crazy marketing. Avengers Infinity War opens huge in China and continues to make all the monies. And we discuss whether the future of the MCU will include the Eternals and Miss Marvel. Plus, some surprising superhero TV show renewals, another crazy Stan Lee update, this week's dumbest and funniest internet memes, and lots of audio clips and voicemails to share with you, listener. All in this edition of the Jock and Nerd Weekly for Thursday, May 17th, 2018.
Check. Check one. All right. This is really fans out there. Let's give it up. Jockin', we nerdin'. We funny, disturbing. We jockin', we nerdin'. We spoiler alert. Oh yeah! Jockin', we nerdin'. We funny, disturbing. Oh yeah! Jockin', we nerdin'. We spoiler alert.
Yo, what's up, listener? Thank you for joining us and welcome to the Jock and Nerd Podcast. Jock and Nerd. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's the Nerd.
And he's the Rug Boy. Hello, Rug Boy. How are you?
Whoopity scoopity poop.
Whoopity scoopity poop, everyone. Yes.
Jock and Nerd.
Spread that around, whatever that means. I feel like that's what happens when you wipe shit on the wall. You're like, oh, whoopity scoopity whoop on the wall.
That's like when that did you see that video of the lady taking a shit?
No,
the lady who took a shit in the middle of some restaurant and started throwing it?
And then threw it at
Was it a Starbucks?
I don't know what it... Yeah, oh, Tim Hortons in Canada.
Oh, it was in Canada? A nice Canadian place?
She gets all pissy at this for something, and then just on command takes a shit on the wall, picks up the shit, and starts throwing it at the people.
This wasn't an episode of Flavor of Love on VH1 back in the day?
And then takes the dirty napkin, wipes her ass with it, and throws it at people.
That's whoopity scoopity right there.
I got so many things. Like, first off... Like, if someone threw shit at me,
yes,
they're dead.
Yeah,
the person's dying.
Wouldn't that like throw you off your game? Like, you ever see that guy who takes off all of his clothes when he fights people?
Oh yeah,
that like it throws you off your game. You're covered in shit. Like the last thing, you just want to get the shit off you.
But then after that, that person's dead. But then the next thing for me is how she was just fully loaded and was ready to poo on command.
What are they eating? What are they serving?
That's me. I'm ready to shit anytime.
Anytime you could just call upon your shit and just be like, I'm pooping right here, right now.
Much. Yeah.
You want to get stage fright?
I don't know. Every time you know what? Every once in a while I'll go and try it and nothing will come out. But like for the most part, like I'm batting 1,000. I'm really like hitting him out of the park every time I go in there.
That's Rug Boy's mutant power right there. He can shit on command, and if
we at least know that she had a nice like a cup of coffee. Like we know that everything's working correctly.
Listen, if you are a new listener just tuning in for the first time, you're probably hella confused.
Somebody touch my spaghetti!
And I don't blame you. This is the show where we will talk about comic book and superhero TV and movie news.
This kind of show?
Reviews and whatever we choose.
Pun intended.
And this show, you're going to want to check the show notes for this show, listener, jockandnerd.com/221, because guess what? We have nerd news. We got jock news. We got the latest stupid internet memes. We got lots of audio to share and lots of voicemails.
Geek boner.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a fun time. Packed show. Of course, if you are a new listener and you've never listened to a previous show, I'm going to say this just for you. We've never offered this before, but you, new listener, can get a free month of Stitcher Premium. This is completely out of the blue. We've never mentioned this. If you are a new listener, just go to Stitcher.com/premium. Use the promo code NERD, and you'll get one free month of Stitcher.
That's NERD, nerd.
Just like that cool band that Pharrell was in back in the day.
Yeah.
They were awesome.
No periods, though, in this nerd.
No periods. Just the letters. And you can check out Marvel's first podcast, Wolverine, The Long Night. All 10 episodes are out.
And all the other shit they got on what is it called?
Stitcher Premium.
Stitcher. Yeah, that thing. Shitter,
not Shitter Premium, Anthony.
Oh, shit.
Way to blow the sponsorship every episode. One of these days, Stitcher will get it right.
They don't listen.
They don't listen. Also, the other thing I want to announce before we start with our news this week, I want to give a shout out to some friends of ours in the podcast family, #Podern Family, Kate and Patrick from See Here's the Thing podcast. You remember them guys, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Lovely people. They reviewed Wonder Woman with us. They are so adorable. Their show is adorable. Their chemistry together is adorable. Well, they've revamped their show a little bit. They've worked on the format. They took a little break and they came back with a new format and a new logo, which if you listen to their latest episode, we will find out that it was designed by someone on this show. It was designed by Anthony. Good job, Anthony.
Oh, really?
No, it wasn't. No.
What?
I designed the See Here's the Thing new logo, and they said thank you, how much they love it.
Oh,
they
is that on their website?
Yeah, it's on their website. It's on the podcast app, and they were promoting our Infinity War review. So I just wanted to say thank you for the shout out, Kate and Patrick. You guys are awesome. Check out the links in the show notes to check out See Here's the Thing.
Aaron just wants people to see his logo.
Just look at my work.
You're just jacking yourself off.
Yeah, it's
exactly.
so self-serving.
But it's also returning
you're an
thank
ass.
you. The show is great. I've done a bunch of logos for Blazing Caribou
But
Studios.
you've never plugged them until you did the logo.
No, we've had them on our show. What are you talking about? I play their promo in our show because you never listen. You wouldn't know that.
You don't say anything.
It was a little bit self-serving, I'll admit. I want people to check out
It
my
is a
logo.
cool
Back him into a corner, he'll fold.
I know, he always folds.
See, you just said it's a cool logo. I want people to check it out, and then it'll suck you in to listen to the show. The show is great. Check out the show notes.
What is that? Would you take inspiration from that from?
I don't know. It was a very classic because the show.
Yeah, it's like a Tim Hortons coffee.
I want it to be like a timeless classic show. It's about their relationship because they're so adorable. They're a married couple. They're so cute together. They have great chemistry. So just trying to kind of like an I Love Lucy classic.
If you look up
traditional
Tim
look.
Hortons where that lady took a shit, it's very similar.
Or Tim Hortons. Yeah, I hear they have some good coffee. It's very similar to Tim Hortons shit lady. Okay.
Yeah.
It's Horton Here's a Poo.
Horton Here's a Poo. And with that, we're going to get to the news.
The Jock and Nerd Podcast.
You will all love my logos, listener, before the night is through. If you want to get in touch with the show and tell me how awesome my logos are, just visit jockandnerd.com/contact, which is where you can find our Twitter page or Facebook page. You can send us a voicemail, send us a typey little message, click send, and you can join our exclusive closed Facebook group called the Jock and Nerd Nation. That's just for our listeners. It's where they hang out. It's where all the cool kids are. Welcome new members, Alexander Perez, Steve Hames, and Hammond Chamberlain, who is a podcaster. He has two podcasts, one called Soundography and one called Beyond the Playlist with Hammond. Welcome to the group. Also, I got to give a shout out to our buddy Jason Mumert from Voice from the Underground, because if you check out our last episode, we had that fun Marvel versus DC fight matchup segment, thanks to listener Matt Miller, who suggested it. So Jason posted on our Facebook group, okay, inspired by Matt's call from this week's show, I threw this together. I tried to make it diverse from different universes, but not easy and left a lot out. I know this won't make everyone happy, but let's go. If you want a copy of the bracket, I'll share below. Fill this shit out. It is a 64-team single elimination bracket filled with characters from Marvel, DC, Valiant, Transformers. What else is on here? He's got all these crazy things. It's pretty cool. A lot of work went into this. What did you guys think of this fight bracket?
Yeah, it was cool. It was a little bit outlandish because of all the crazy characters that are involved, but fuck it can be fun. Do it.
You got Star Wars.
Out.
You got Star Wars in there. Anthony, Anthony, you're a jock. They love brackets.
Yeah, I good for Jason. I'm glad he did something like this. I don't really know how to declare
Anthony's
who's
like,
a
I
winner.
would maybe have done this if I wasn't busy getting laid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Bro, do you even podcast? Yeah, there you go. I don't even really know how this, are you supposed to judge who's more popular or who would win in a fight?
Well, in the Facebook group, some of the comments were like, this is the fun about the brackets. You can set whatever rules you want. It could be like if they just meet on the street or if it's a popularity contest. I'll tell you what, I printed it out. I started to fill it out. And after the first one, I was done. I was like, no, this is too hard. I can't do this. I'll tell you what's even more impressive than this bracket is Ray Swanson filled the fucking bracket out.
Oh, shit.
And posted it back to the Facebook
Don't read
group.
it.
I'm not going to read the whole thing. Basically, he's got the final matchup, Thor versus the Hulk, with Thor coming out as the winner. But wow, Ray, good for you.
You know
for
that
filling this
Imran
out.
wanted to read it.
I was not going to
I
read
let
all
him
the
off at
match.
the pass.
I was
Yeah.
not going to read all. Don't be ridiculous, cousin Larry. I was. Also, I got a shout out from the group, Justin Zwerner, because all he posts ever whenever I welcome new people is all hail King Imran. You get points for that every time. Justin Zwerner, my best friend.
No. But if you're the king, what's the jock? Are you the queen? He's calling you.
That Justin
What
Zwerner.
is
That's
that?
a good
What are
question.
you talking about there, Justin Swerner?
You're gonna have to
Yeah.
ask him if he's maybe like the other king, like in Game of Thrones, the competing from another. I don't know.
He's the king's hand.
Where do you think you
the
could be a
king's
ruler?
hand. I could be a ruler in fucking Joker, where the clowns live. I could rule all the clowns. I don't know what that means.
Like the UAE? You think you could be like the king of the UAE?
Oh hell no! Are you kidding
No?
me? That's way too much money to be in charge of. Give me a small third world country where people are already sad and unhappy. Like it's only up from there. That's easier,
That's a good point.
right?
Yeah, I guess,
You're not
yeah.
starting with rich ass oil countries.
Yeah, but if you get into a third world country and they don't like you, they'll just kill you. They'll do like a coup
They'll
That's
behead
a
you.
good
and they'll
point.
kill you.
Yeah.
And they'll kill you in the street.
You do have to have a quick exit planned.
Especially if America doesn't like you, they'll sponsor that coup.
Yeah, and it would be really hard to find you know how all these leaders have like doppelgangers to like throw people off, like decoys?
Yeah.
Like how hard is it going to be to find an Imran doppelganger?
You know how much white hair dye I'd have to buy to make
Yeah.
people look like me?
You
Oh,
ought
yeah.
to
All
you ought
the
to start
fake
hanging out in
Saddams.
hipster neighborhoods like we had talked about off air and like getting the hipsters to start dyeing their beard the way you do.
I think if I go to the right coffee shop, put in a little bit of legwork, because I noticed I have one of those cabbie felt like fabric hats, and I was in a coffee shop and I looked around and I was like, why do all these guys are wearing the same hat and they all have beards? Oh, this is the hipster thing. I don't hang out where they hang out, but if I can infiltrate them and then make them think that dyeing your hair striped, your facial hair black and white striped, is the new hipster thing, I will be the all hail
Like-
king hipster.
If you start walking around wearing like just stripes all the time, like black and white stripes, like Beetlejuice,
Oh shit!
it's like part of your like look.
It'd have to be vertical stripes because
Yeah.
I'm not. The horizontal stripes are not flattering on me.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. All right, enough of this bullshit. Let's get to what I really want to talk about. Is that by the time you listen to this, listener, Deadpool 2 will be out.
Geek boner.
And you won't have a review from us on this episode.
No, because you're
Sorry,
listening to
listener.
this right now, so you are going to listen to us talk about the early reviews of the movie and how excited we are, and maybe what we want from the movie. The Rotten Tomato score is out.
Yeah, what is it?
Let's have a look at that. As of right now, updated the Thursday before the movie comes out, 85%. With an average rating of 7.2 out of 10. All right. That seems about right. Seems appropriate.
How do you know that? You haven't seen the movie.
No, I don't know. But that,
I'm not really expecting it to be like a 10 out of 10.
right. No, I'm expecting it to be 85%. For comparison, we'll talk about this a little more next week. The Solo movie that comes out the following Friday. Deadpool has 1 week, 1 weekend. That's it. Solo comes out. That tomato meter is at 71%, 6.5 out of 10. So,
Right.
yeah. But early reviews are saying, Zazie Beetz is amazing. She steals the show. There's a mid-credit scene that Joe Quesada, Marvel's CCO, has said hands down the best after-credit scene in movie history.
Oh shit.
And some kind of surprise cameo. What are you guys expecting going into this movie? Comedy sequels are really hard to do. I was trying to think of a comedy sequel that was actually good, and I couldn't. I couldn't come up with one.
I got no skin in this game.
Yeah.
Right. I don't really give a fuck about Deadpool. I enjoy Deadpool when I watch the movie. I've watched it a few times and I've enjoyed it. But if it sucks, it's not going to really damage me or bring me down.
All right.
If it's just decent and I have a good time and it's got some good action, I'll be fine. I'm not really expecting it to be great. So
Okay, Anthony.
Kind of in the same boat. I think I came into this thinking it wouldn't be good. Now I'm seeing the reviews that it's mostly positive. So, as long as it makes me laugh, I'm cool with it.
yeah, when you don't have a lot invested in a movie, like personally, like you can kind of go in with less expectations or less kind of like eggshells. You're like kind of like, oh, well, what are they gonna fuck up of mine that I like?
Right.
And this I don't really care. I really not really into Deadpool, so even if they fucking mess up Deadpool, I won't care as long as the movie's entertaining.
I really enjoyed that first movie more than I thought I would because it was just kind of refreshing at the time. It was an R-rated comedy that happened to be a comic book superhero movie, and the way he dealt with the character and the whole meta reference is great. What I want from this movie, I kind of want, it's hard. Like I said, comedy sequels are hard. I want more of the same, but I don't want repetition. I want it to be better and bigger. But honestly, you kind of want more of the same, but I'm expecting to have a lot of fun already. Like I'm super excited.
They kind of went bigger with like a whole crew of people now. They're adding in Cable, who's a name you know, and it seems like they've nailed a lot of the marketing.
We're going to see X-Force. Speaking of the marketing, have you seen what they've done at the Walmart?
That's what I'm referring to.
Holy shit, dude. I love brilliant marketing. Deadpool photobombs DVD Blu-ray covers of other movies from Fox. And apparently, if you go to Walmart, they have a whole display set up. And I guess the store's got a few copies of the photobomb ones they put in front. And you could actually buy these. I wanted to go and buy these rugs. Did you see these?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny.
I love it. They got My Cousin Vinny, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Edward Scissorhands. You got Deadpool riding the horse on War for Planet of the Apes. Hilarious.
I mean, in one hand, I feel it's a little thirsty, but on the other hand, I think it's kind of genius.
It fits the
and
brand.
funny.
It fits the brand. It fits Deadpool. That's for sure.
Yeah, if they start doing this all the time, I'm going to fucking hate it. It's a one-time thing. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I think it's less invasive than the first movie's marketing campaign. Remember, I was starting to get annoyed. Like, this shit was everywhere, but it did work for the movie.
Right.
And it had huge box office returns. Speaking of which, how much do you guys think this movie's going to make?
What did the last one make?
Opening weekend, and will it dethrone Infinity War as number one spot?
It made $100 million. I made over $100 million the first weekend, right?
I think it did. I don't have.
Let me look it up.
Yeah.
While you.
So the last one was a budget of $58 million. It made $783 million globally. I don't know what the opening weekend is here, but they're predicting.
Here, I'll get you the opening weekend.
Okay, what was
it?
it?
Was 132 million opening weekend.
Okay, so they're predicting 130 to 150 for opening weekend. So kind of the same. I don't know how much bigger the budget is on this movie.
It's going to be the middle ground there.
If you include Valentine's Day, because it came out Valentine's Day weekend, it was 152.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's pretty good. I think.
But yeah, 132 was its actual opening.
So with Avengers still breaking box office records, we'll get to that in a second. Do you think this could take the number one spot in the weekend box office?
I think it will.
It's been Avengers has only been out 3 weeks. 3 weeks as number one. This is
yeah, but everybody's seen it.
Everyone's seen it multiple times.
If you haven't seen it, you're dead.
Yeah. I think people are ready for some funny after, the gut punch at the end of the movie.
It's kind of almost like the perfect time for it to come out.
Oh my God, it is.
Everyone's, seen Infinity War. There might still be some confusion, like that there's Deadpool in this universe, and then after all that, like grim,
you're still
grimness
processing
from the ending,
all this.
Yeah,
the loss.
Deadpool is like a nice little change up for a
you get to see Josh Brolin be someone else.
Yeah, nice to see Brolin again being Cable and X-Force with Domino and Shatterstar. Oh, I can't wait. One last thing about Deadpool, which again makes this movie unique. Apparently, the score for the movie, the score album, is the first ever score it's going to receive a parental advisory warning.
Oh, shit.
Because the titles of some of these songs that are sung by a 38-voice Hollywood ensemble, one title is "You Can't Stop This Motherfucker." Another title of the score piece is "Holy Shitballs." Apparently, there's like a whole chorus people singing "Holy Shitballs" in harmony. I can't wait. I think that's hilarious.
Will you buy this album?
Absolutely not. Because
what's the last album?
That's the question.
Last album, full album I bought? Man, that's a good question.
The last album I got was Mike Ripp's album.
Oh, yeah, but we were gifted that.
Yeah, that was free.
And that was great. And thank you, Mike Rips. I can't remember the last album I bought. This chorus of Shitballs, though, reminds me of the Black Sheep album. They have a great track where everyone's saying fuck you, and it's like a chorus of fuck yous in harmony and different movements. It's like a classical piece. It's really well done. Hopefully we get something like that in the Deadpool 2. Probably.
Oh, the new Arctic Monkeys. That's the latest album.
Oh, you bought the Arctic Monkeys.
It's really weird.
Did they throw their poop at you?
No.
Musically? No.
Little bit.
Oh, okay. Musically.
What does that even mean?
They threw some poop out of the music. Okay, speaking of Avengers Infinity War, quick box office update. The movie opened to $200 million in China.
Oh, shit.
making it the highest MCU opening in China ever. So domestically, it's made $562 million. Worldwide, $1.6 billion in 20 days, making it the fourth highest grossing movie of all time. It just got into fourth place, beating out Jurassic World.
Damn.
So
What's left?
Okay, here's what's left. What's left at number 3? Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Right.
$2.068 billion. I think this movie can make it to $2 billion, no problem.
Right.
No problem. All right, then after that, there's a little bit of a jump. Titanic, $2.1 billion.
Oh, made by a guy who doesn't know shit.
And the next movie made by the same man. Bigger jump, highest grossing movie of all time, of course. I'm talking about The Avatar, $2.7 billion. James Cameron is responsible for the top 2 highest grossing movies of all time. Let's just put that out there.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Other than that, Disney has 5 of the 10 highest grossing movies in this list. Pretty impressive as always. But
War, man.
Man,
there's not much more to say about it.
No. How much higher do you think it's going to get? It's only been 20 days.
It's going to be $2 billion.
Yeah, $2 billion. That sounds good.
I think I could pass Force Awakens. I don't know if it'll get to Titanic.
It won't pass Force Awakens domestically.
Okay, no, I'm talking.
It'll pass
worldwide.
it worldwide. Yeah, I think it has a shot.
I mean, that China opening, that's monster. That's crazy.
Yeah,
they like their Infinity War.
They certainly do, as well they should. I found a couple of articles that can help us. Got some clues to maybe what Marvel is looking at, what the MCU is looking at after Avengers 4.
Right.
Yeah.
Starting with Bob Iger, Disney's Bob Iger on a earnings call. Said, we meet on a regular basis with our Marvel team, and we've plotted out Marvel movies that will take us well into the next decade. I'm guessing we will try our hand at what I'll call a new franchise beyond Avengers. But that doesn't necessarily mean you won't see more Avengers down the road. We just haven't made any announcements about that. New franchise from Bob Iger? What is he talking about? Where are they going?
They're probably going to pass the baton, Young Avengers or something like that, or like a new, what do you call it, legacy team.
Oh, just another form of the Avengers?
Yeah.
Anthony, what do you want to see? What do you think he means by a new franchise?
They're going to be wheeling Robert Downey Jr. out if they wait. I mean, everybody's aging in this.
Yeah, you gotta reset it somehow.
Yeah.
I've heard a couple theories online.
Yeah.
I've heard that, because right now the formula is make solo films, they come together, Avengers.
Yeah.
Make solo films, they come together, Avengers.
Right.
I've heard theories that maybe they'll just do a bunch of solo films, for a bit and not have the Avengers come back. Then there's also the theories of Fantastic Four and X-Men.
Right.
Those are, your next big things. Another theory I heard is instead of calling them the Avengers, the next crew is called the Ultimates.
Oh.
Which was based in the Ultimate Universe, but now the new version of the Ultimates that came out in 2015
is now different than
the
old version of the Ultimates. Yes.
But it has Black Panther and Captain Marvel in it.
Oh, they can pull a lot of stuff from that.
Along with Blue Marvel, Spectrum, and Miss America. All, by the way, characters that are minority characters.
Oh, interesting. That's interesting. Look, we know they're going to make another Spider-Man. We know they're going to probably make another Black Panther, another Guardians of the Galaxy.
Probably another Strange movie.
Here's another hint, maybe where their mind is going. I think this is really interesting. They have set writers for this Eternals movie. Which is a crazy cosmic celestial thing. They've hired writers Matthew and Ryan Firpo, whose spec script Ruin shot to the top of the 2017 Blacklist, to write the script for this superhero team adventure. Eternals is really weird. It's a thing Jack Kirby came up. I don't even get it. Like, this is part of the MCU that I never got into. It's a lot like Asgard. Jack Kirby came up with this in the 70s. He came up with the Celestials that created the humans, and then they created the Eternals and the Deviants, and it was never supposed to be part of the MCU, the main continuity. But it's pretty much what he did at DC, which is New Gods. Like, he did New Gods at DC, and then came to Marvel and kind of got rid of the rest of his ideas for this. So it's like a Game of Thrones style thing. Ruggs, are you familiar with the Eternals? Do you like it at all?
Ancillary characters, yeah, but nobody really sticks out to me. I don't remember them. That they were always sidebar characters in like Silver Surfer or some other shit.
Eternity is one of the characters.
Yeah, I don't know if this is the greatest move. I mean, I'm sorry if they make it. The good news is Eternals is not anyone's favorite character.
That's true.
So they could make it whatever they want.
Like, look at what they did with Guardians. It's kind of the same thing here. They're taking like a weird, funky thing that would be. But we've seen the Celestials in Guardians of the Galaxy. They've kind of set it up a little bit. Nowhere in Guardians, that's the head of a Celestial also. But Anthony, do you want to see this more? Like, do we want to see like the street level stuff in the MCU, and then the other end of it is this crazy, cosmic, crazy shit?
Here's the thing with Marvel, especially with like you guys. I don't really know that much about the Eternals. Yeah. Everything I know about the Eternals, I've like read in passing in a comic, or like I'm now reading on Wikipedia. So I don't know if I want the Eternals or not. I can't really answer that. But I didn't know I wanted Guardians of the Galaxy until that came out either. I'm down for whatever Marvel wants to do. I think I'm a huge fan of the MCU. So if they want to take it in this direction and they have a good story to craft, like Rug Boy said, they're Eternals. I have no connection to them, so they could tell me the Eternals are this or that, and I'll believe it.
They can make you
as
like
long as
them.
it's a good story, I'm down.
I mean, Arlok is not anyone's favorite character.
Who is that?
I don't even know who that is.
The only one that you really know is Drax.
Well,
he's an Eternal?
Well, he's always in the Eternal comics, and Cersei is in the Eternals. Gilgamesh, Hyperion.
Isn't Thanos' dad in Eternal?
I think so, yeah.
Because doesn't Red Skull say his name when he shows up?
Yeah, he's an
like
Eternal Deviant hybrid.
Oh, he's a hybrid of the Eternals and the Deviants, yeah.
And the Eternals and the Deviants are
fight each other.
long time enemies.
Like Hyperion, I don't know if he's a legit Eternal, but like he appears in some of the Eternal comics, and he's like basically a redheaded Superman.
Yeah, he's Superman.
Another problem.
Hyperion. Let me see what he is.
Some of these Marvel worlds, they start to get repetitive. Like, it's really like you have the X-Men, you have the Inhumans, you have the Eternals, you have the Asgardians. Oh, kind of the same kind of shit.
I don't know. I can't figure out what Hyperion is by looking him up.
Yeah, it's like an offshoot of humanity. It's just like, I don't know. They're not very popular with most people. Like, people who really like the Eternals are people who really like Thor and Silver Surfer. Like, like you run into a guy and you're like, okay, what's your favorite character? And they say Silver Surfer or Thor.
Yeah.
They're all about the Eternals because they're the celestial fucking. They're dealing with Galactus. They're dealing with all that type of shit, all that cosmic shit.
Listen,
most people.
Cosmic Marvel's in a whole nother.
Cosmic Marvel
story.
is weird.
Yeah.
I never got into it, but Kevin Feige and crew can make you love it. I have no doubt that they can present it in a fun way, like Guardians, like kind of Ragnarok, where it will work. So,
I mean, it'd have to be something like, although Guardians is wildly successful, it'd have to be something. It can't be like this ragtag group, right? It'd have to be something higher, something.
Well, what I would wager is that it could be the answer to the Justice League.
Oh,
it could be because you have these gods and they're kind of like the archetypes are kind of like Jack Kirby. You need the new gods, which is like archetypes of like the Greek gods, same kind of thing.
Yep.
So Eternals is like Marvel's version of that.
Absolutely.
So they can kind of make, and Justice League is basically the pantheon of their mythical characters. So like you have Hercules is Superman, and you have Athena is like Wonder Woman, and then you got Batman is like, I don't know, some fucking like Ares or something. I don't know, but like, so they're all kind of like counterparts to like mythology. So they could kind of make a anti-Justice League out of the Eternals if they shape it correctly. If they choose the right characters, they can do it.
It sounds like what they probably wanted to do with the Inhumans when it was a movie back in the beginning years ago.
Inhumans, it's their powers are too defined differently than the Justice League. Like Black Bolt screams. There's a lady with fucking hair that moves around.
Right.
It's not as iconic. You can mold these characters into anything because they're godlike. So they're going to have super strength.
So it's just super
They're going to
epic.
be able to fly.
Yeah.
They're going to do things that are like Superman-like.
Control the weather and lightning and all that shit.
Yeah.
And the ground and earthquakes. That's, I don't know. I guess, look, they can sell me on it. At the moment, I was never really into the Eternals. But speaking of the Inhumans, something that is very exciting to me is that we
this lady.
possibly may have Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, coming into the MCU.
Geek boner.
How do we know this? Because of words that came out of Kevin Feige's mouth. Here are the words themselves. You tell me.
Yeah. Perfect
Would I
speak.
encourage you to do the Miss Marvel, the Muslim superhero?
We're doing Captain Marvel right now. Captain Marvel's shooting right now with Brie Larson. Miss Marvel, which is another character in the comic books, the Muslim hero who was inspired by Captain Marvel, is definitely sort of in the works. We have plans for that once we've introduced Captain Marvel to the world.
You know,
Shit.
Definitely, sort of, in the works. What does he mean?
Great producer speak.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, but he says definitely and then sort of. But you got to think, if they're doing Captain Marvel, even though it's in the 90s, you can't really introduce her then because she's a teenage, immigrant Pakistani who grows up in New Jersey and with a kind of a religious upbringing family. I love this book. One of my favorite books, one of the best new characters Marvel has created in years. It is like reading Spider-Man in the 60s again. It's so exciting that they're doing this. It really is, dude. It's like
You weren't alive in the 60s.
I'm saying when you read early Spider-Man.
Okay,
The
all right.
early Spider-Man from the 60s. Not in the
Got it.
not from the 60s. Spider-Man, not in the 60s, from the 60s. But that's what this
the
book
60s comics of Spider-Man.
Dude,
yes.
this book does what Marvel does best, and it reflects the world around you and gives you hope, and it inspires you with this Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel. So I don't know. I hope that he just let something slip, and they actually have plans in Phase 4 because, like you just said, diverse characters moving forward. Here's a diverse character,
I think it'll happen.
right? Oh
Yeah.
man, that's awesome.
Unless the climate completely changes. Yeah, I think it'll happen.
The popularity's there. I think they should do it. It'll be fun, I guess.
I mean, they gotta nail Miss Marvel doesn't work unless Captain Marvel's a hit.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
But
You can't have a character look up to another character and that movie is dog shit.
Correct.
the only thing that I'm afraid of is that having let's say they do get Fantastic Four back, and then you got Bendy guy,
Yeah.
then you got Bendy girl,
Well,
and then it gets then it gets repetitive.
She is inhuman, and her powers are embiggening her fist and kind of stretching and getting big and some other things. But they could tweak the powers for the movie.
I think they're gonna have to
Easily.
play with the powers because there's a reason why the stretchy characters in the comics are always kind of a joke, and in the movies they've never looked good is because the stretching power is kind of weak.
It's a comedy thing. Everyone likes Plastic Man because it's funny. They figured out, okay, this is a ridiculous power, so let's make it ridiculous.
Silly, right?
But with Miss Marvel, I actually feel like, all right, the fact that they've been able to write this and actually people like this comic book in spite of it being a stretchy character, like one of the lamest powers ever.
Yeah.
That's a testament to the writing.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's going to translate. Like, if you're like a little, boy or a little girl, and you're like, I want to be stretchy. You have Elastigirl coming out in The Incredibles. It's going to be like an old thing by the time it comes out.
I'm super excited for Miss Marvel, and Miss Marvel. Obviously, growing up as a Pakistani Muslim in America, I'm Miss Marvel. It's great.
I remember you saying that.
Yes, I Miss Marvel. You know who else is really excited? Riz Ahmed, Mindy Kaling, Kumail Nanjiani, who all kind of got on Twitter, and they tweeted G. Willow Wilson, who is the writer of Miss Marvel, who is, just for the record, she is a white woman who converted to Islam. She researched the Pakistani family. She translates the Pakistani Urdu stuff perfectly. She nails the whole feel of being in an immigrant family where your brother is kind of more religious than you are and you're trying to sneak around and hang out with boys. Nails it. It's so perfect. So Riz Ahmed suggested him and Mindy Kaling and Kumail Nanjiani get involved. They want to be a part of it. I thought that was a great idea. And then here comes the backlash on that. This stuff happened so quickly. Have you been following this at all, Ruggs? Did you see this?
No.
So then the backlash comes back going, hey, maybe...
Well, you ask him, not me.
Maybe. Have you been following the backlash?
No.
Okay, I thought so. Because I know you're not following backlash. Look, so the backlash being, they're like, hey, that's great and all, but maybe you should get Pakistani women to write a movie about a Pakistani woman. And I don't know how I feel about that because I just brought up the fact that the book itself was created and written by a white woman who converted to Islam, who researched. She's a writer. That's what writers do. They research things. So,
Well, in this world, you can't do anything unless you're the Thing.
I guess you can't write
We
about
can't write about aliens yet anymore because we have to get an alien.
You
to
just
write.
can't be a good writer and reach out and try to broaden your horizons and research
No,
stuff.
we don't want to know about other cultures.
and try to.
You need to be Ben Grimm to write about the Thing.
I have to be a Rocky man to write about a thing. I have to actually be a teenager bitten by a spider to.
What if you're Latavarian, and there's no Latavaria? What do you do? How do you write Doctor Doom?
Damn it! You got to just get Kim Jong Un to write Dr. Doom because he understands what it's like to be.
Yeah.
Anyways, this backlash is hilarious. I think this is a boon for inclusion and diversity, and we're gonna get a Muslim superhero in the MCU on the big screen. Is fucking great. Why do you guys have to ruin it? You can never have anything.
The
nice.
intent is good.
Yes.
The idea is the idea is if somebody writes the book. Like the comic book, and it's become successful because this person wrote it.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Try and now find somebody that matches up with that same voice that's going to be able to write it, and just that's kind of like a weird way to hire people to do stuff. I think you have a person who's written it well.
Yes.
That voice is working. Let's stick with that.
Absolutely.
Let's get this person involved. Maybe you want to get other people to let's get advisors. Maybe get people to consult.
I mean, a good writer is going to do his research. And if they really want to write this, be like, hey, let me go hang out with these people. Let me see how it is and get a first-person perspective. And then I will craft the words because I'm the writer. That's the fucking job of the writer.
Right.
Well, I would say, nothing's going to beat the experience of actually being a Pakistani woman that, in writing this. So
yeah,
the first-hand experience is obviously ideal, but you also have to find someone that can write.
Yes.
And that can translate this into a good film. So it's not gonna be, I wouldn't say it's extremely difficult, but it's not gonna be easy to find that person. So you're at the end of the day, you're trying to find the person that's gonna best put this, write something that's translatable to the medium of film.
Exactly. Pick the best person based on talent. That's a lot of boxes to tick off, like you said. Okay, so they got to be a woman. They got to be Pakistani. They got to be a screenplay writer. They also got to
understand the character.
They got to understand this character. They got to know about superhero movies and what the fans want to understand the lore of the character. That's a lot of things to have.
What would you rather have? This is the question. Okay, let's say I'm a Hollywood guy. I'm a Marvel guy. I'm Kevin Feige.
Oh, hello,
right?
Kevin. Yes.
All right. Now, either I could have two choices. I could get a whoever, it doesn't matter who it is, to write the story that's a expert on Miss Marvel that knows Miss Marvel's voice or whatever. Or I got to get somebody who is exactly like Miss Marvel as far as a woman and Muslim, but doesn't know shit or has to do research. So which one do you want to have research on? Do you want to research the character, or do you want to research the universe?
Exactly. And yes,
you have to find the person that does both.
Right. And I'm saying this as a Pakistani American. It doesn't have to be a Pakistani woman writing this movie. Just be good, understand the character.
What about directing the movie?
Well, that's a whole different thing. The director, which race do you choose out of the people in the movie to be the director? I mean, come on. Does it have to be directed by? Maybe you can find a woman director. That would be cool. Pakistani woman director would be excellent. Are there? I'm sure there's some out there.
Yeah, let's give them a huge franchise. Maybe what if they do this? What if they just make them a director in name only, and the second unit director really does everything?
Look, the point is just find the person who's good and right for the job. That's all. And I want to see Miss Marvel on the big screen. Look, we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to play some promos at some other podcasts you might want to check out. And we'll be back after the break.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Do you like movies?
Get busy living or get busy dying.
Mr. Anderson.
Life, finds a way.
TV?
A girl has no name.
Soft kitty, warm kitty.
You didn't think I'd just disappear, did you?
Music?
Hello. All my friends are heathens, take it slow. Girl, run the world. Girls.
Video games?
It's me, Mario.
Get over here!
Hey, listen.
If you love geeking out about your pop culture passions, See Here's the Thing may be the podcast for you. Join me and my co-host Patrick as we dive into a weekly digest of news clips about movies, TV, video games, theater, and more. Special guests, improv games, and terrible celebrity impersonations abound in our weekly episodes published directly on Podomatic. You can also subscribe to us on iTunes, Spreaker, Stitcher, TuneIn, and Google Play. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Google+, and Pinterest. See, here's the thing. It's where humor and pop culture collide.
Called The Working Man's Nerdist, Tales from the Fandom is a weekly podcast where David talks with a guest about the fandoms that they love. Whether it's classics like Star Trek, Star Wars and Tolkien, or new ones like Game of Thrones or Harry Potter. Anime, books, TV shows, movies, role-playing, video games, cosplay and more are discussed. Each episode is different based on the guest. No fandom is too big or too small. Subscribe to Tales from the Fandom and join in on the fun.
Hi, listener. Thanks for listening. If you've been enjoying the show, and maybe you want some more show, well, look, there's more show.
Jock and Nerd.
To be had, join our fan club, jockandnerd.com/Patreon, and you get access to an exclusive RSS feed with bonus content, instant reactions. So by the time this goes up, our Deadpool 2 instant reactions should be up there.
Mine won't be up.
If they aren't, they'll be up very soon afterwards. They will trickle in. We will have them up there.
Mine won't be up till next Wednesday at the earliest.
Shit, really? All right, well, we'll
Going
have
to Vegas.
That's true. You are going to Vegas this weekend. Have fun. Be safe. Be responsible, Anthony.
I'll try.
Don't.
No promises or anything.
Just remember those wise words as you head into the promised land. But look, check out.
It was promised. The land was promised.
If you sign up this week, you'll get our instant reactions ahead of our review. And you know what, listener? You send in your audio. If you want your quick thoughts, we'll play it on the show. Send in your review of the movie, spoiler free or spoiler full. It doesn't matter. Also, our $10 tier is that fun tier where everyone gets to pick a movie for us to review.
It's also a frontier.
It's the frontier, like Frontera Grill.
To the frontier.
It's the frontier
to Vegas.
The frontier, which is Vegas. So if you sign up for $10 a month on our fan club, you can pick a movie for us to review. Everyone has kind of sent in their review picks. I've got them all in a...
We haven't reviewed any of them.
Wait, we haven't started yet. We'll do one a month. Look, we got plenty of time. We got to spread this out. Blake Braden, last to send in his pick. There may be one or two others, but he wrote in saying, Imran, Anthony, and Rugboy, I have a great movie picked out to review. This movie is in my top 3 of all time. I am going with The Crow, 1994, starring Brandon Lee.
Jock and Nerd.
3 reasons for this choice. 1, even though this version strayed from the comic, I thought it would be topical with the reboot, with Jason Momoa reportedly moving forward. Number 2, this will give Anthony a reason to finally watch this amazing movie. Number 3, having just passed Mother's Day, I thought it'd be fitting to pick a movie that my mother and I were able to bond over. She is an avid comic reader and collector since the 70s and is a big inspiration as to why I started reading comics in the 90s. That's awesome. Fun fact, we spent a summer a few years back digitally cataloging her entire collection and ended with 10,000 plus total comics.
Oh, shit.
95% of those being various Marvel titles. Is she a hoarder? Absolutely. But the best thing is they weren't just purchased and bagged, but she has taken the time to read and really get to know these characters. So when I say having these Marvel movies has been a dream come true for her, I am not exaggerating. She absolutely loves the show. I introduced it to her a few weeks ago. I am so sorry, Blake's mom. Unfortunately, she does not have any social media pages, but would love it if you could give her a shout out on your show. Her name is Lynn Braden. Shout out.
Jock and Nerd.
Fire it up.
Lynn
Fire
Braden.
it up. Thank you, Blake Braden, for writing in. Lynn, we, if there's any kind of, if you've noticed Blake behavior change, it's not our fault. He signed a waiver before he listens to the show.
Lynn Braden, what up?
What's up, Lynn? Thanks for listening and thanks for taking care of those comic books.
Yeah, Lynn. Welcome.
I love that she is a reader and a collector, and she's passing it on. Good stuff, Braden family. Look at that. We got 2 listeners in the Braden family.
I'll review The Crow any minute of the day. Right? I love that movie.
Blake, here's the 4th reason this is a great pick. Because Mark Bunong also picked The Crow. We got a twofer, people. We can do
it
2.
knocks out both.
Yep.
There we go. That makes it easy.
Yep. Thank you very much.
I still don't know how the hell am I going to see that movie.
We'll find a way.
All right.
Oh, there's
ways. There's a will, there's a way. What were you going to say, Rux?
I have a copy of it. Don't you have a copy of it, Imran?
I don't have a physical. Maybe I'll have to dust off my DVDs here. We'll find a way for Anthony to see it. And yeah, we should. I'd love to review The Crow. It's a great movie. Be good.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it in a long time, so that'll be a lot of fun.
I watch it every other Halloween.
Oh, really? It's your Halloween tradition.
Absolutely.
Spooky. I like it. All right, back to the news. We're going to cover a little bit of TV news. It's the time of the year when all these shows are heading to their season finale. This week, tomorrow, actually, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season finale will air, and then The Flash and Gotham and Arrow and some of the shows I'm still watching. I'm still watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm actually really excited for the season finale. It's called The End because at that point, they did not know if they were getting picked up for a 6th season. Well, guess what? They got renewed.
Wow.
For a 6th season. It's also the upfronts. So all the TV renewals are coming in. There is a caveat, though. However, asterisk, it's a 13-episode half season. Mm-hmm. And it won't premiere till the summer of 2019, possibly after Avengers 4. Late summer premiere. But whether this is the last season, I don't know, because they can easily just put it on their streaming service in 2019 and keep it going.
So when did the last season just ended? When?
The season finale is tomorrow, Friday, May 18th.
Did this week's episode acknowledge anything in Infinity War?
Well, last week, they said Thanos, but I have a feeling that it is going to tie in some of the disappearances, possibly. Maybe Coulson is going to die because he's in Captain Marvel before. And I don't know what's going to happen. This season has been 3 pods. The first pod has been out in the future after the Earth has been destroyed by the Destroyer of Worlds that they think is Daisy. The middle pod is called the Destroyer of Worlds, where they flash back to Earth when the Earth is whole, trying to stop it. And then, this is the best spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
When Glenn Talbot becomes Gravitron.
Who the hell is Glenn Talbot?
Yeah, Glenn Talbot was the general who was helping him out.
Yeah.
He kind of goes crazy, has a mental breakdown. They break him. He absorbs all the gravitonium from season 1, and he's like the most powerful being kind of in the near universe right now. There's fucking aliens. He is killing people with his gravity powers. I don't know if we're going to see the Earth crack and turn into what it turned into. And Coulson is supposed to die according to
what
the
happened
prediction.
in this week's episode? Is that tomorrow?
Tomorrow is the season finale. It will be.
Got it.
Yes.
So this is being recorded Thursday, so May 18th. Got it.
Yup. Holy shit.
So Infinity War will probably have.
Do they kill Mac? Do people disappear?
I guess so. My point being, if they're renewing this for the 6th season, this is kind of smart to do it. I mean, summer is actually. First off, summer is a dead month.
Right.
Dead time to release TV shows, but then again, they put this thing on, Fridays?
Yeah, low risk.
And it's still being renewed, so...
I can't believe it got renewed.
I can't believe it either, but I think releasing after Avengers 4 is smart because then they don't have to worry about how the films are supposed to tie in. They can just make their story.
Everything will kind of have a closure. Ruds, are you caught up on Infinity War? What do you think? I mean, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., what do you think of this season so far?
I didn't give up on it, but to be honest with you, it didn't pull me back to watching it. So I need like a stretch of time where I have nothing else to watch, and I'll catch up on it. But I'm about 5 episodes behind.
Listen, I look forward to this every Friday. I will maintain my statement I said in the past. The show has gotten better every season for me, and
I like the characters and everything. I just think that it's spinning in its wheels a little bit.
I mean, being with these characters this long and to see their arc and all the crazy shit they've gone through, I'm excited. I can't wait to see where it ends. And then what are they going to do? They didn't know they were going to get a 6th season. Crazy. Another show that's a surprise renewal. Gotham renewed for a 5th and final season by Fox.
Thank God.
This is definitely the final season.
Thank God.
This is also dude. This gets crazier. This is also going to be 13 episodes long, and is said to focus on Bruce actually becoming Batman.
Oh shit!
What the fuck? I don't know what they're going to do. I gotta say, I will admit the show is very entertaining, and I've also caught up on this show and have kind of been looking forward to it every week because it is a fucking nuts. Alfred gives Bruce a black car, a bulletproof car. He has a Batmobile. Dude, it's crazy. There's an episode that starts with Jerome Velasco looking like the Joker, sitting having dinner with Scarecrow, Firefly, Mr. Freeze, the Penguin. They're all like sitting at this like big evil villain's dinner. And I'm like, this would be so cool if there was a Batman. Could they do a time jump and save this and give us Batman if they know this is our last 13 episodes? Let's go balls out. Let's make him Batman and go and bring him as an adult.
Never happened.
Oh, you don't think it's gonna? You don't think that's gonna happen?
Nope.
Why not? It could.
Shitting on Imran continues.
They're gonna put Mizzou's in the costume, and it's gonna look like dog shit.
Little
and,
David Mizzou's.
Yeah, they just did this wrong. It was wrong from the get-go. So
it's still an enjoyable show in a weird way because like
it's kind of like a big cock tease because they're messing up everything, and it's all like a premature.
Yeah.
And this kid is now not supposed to be Batman. So they're going to make him Batman, and he's going to be Bat Kid.
I mean, I would say...
He's like the age of Robin.
Right. Well, but what if they do a time jump next?
They won't.
Look, I will say...
If they did a time jump, right?
Yeah.
And then they have Batman in it.
Yeah.
And the guy who they get to play Batman is awesome. And everyone's going to want to watch that show.
Yeah.
And then, how is it the last season? Are they going to springboard to a Batman show? I don't think they're going to do that.
They're going to do some crazy shit if they know this is all we got left.
How did that episode turn out with him wearing the bondage black mask?
Oh, he still kind of has that suit. He doesn't really wear it too much anymore.
That's the last memory I have of that show.
Away. It is wacky. I will say Cameron Moynihan playing Jerome Velasco, and again, spoiler if you haven't caught up, a twin brother, and there's a big like twist, but he's really good at that. I love the guy playing Riddler and Penguin, and Morena Baccarin is in it, and she's always good. I don't know. It's a crazy show that it's a guilty pleasure, but it's very entertaining. How about this, Ruggs? Will you enjoy this? Epix, which is the MGM-owned premium cable network, Epix, has handed out a 10-episode straight-to-series order for a show called Pennyworth, a drama set in the Batman universe from Gotham showrunner Bruno Heller.
Oh, shit.
This will revolve around Alfred Pennyworth, of course, Bruce Wayne's butler. It's not a spin-off. It's a new story.
It's actually involving Pennywise.
Pennywise the clown eating Bruce Wayne. It's a prequel. It's an Alfred origin TV show.
To a prequel.
Who the fuck wants to watch this?
If you did a one-shot comic, I totally would read it, but it's not a one-shot. It's a series, and I'm not interested in a series.
You want to see
Alfred
him
Pennyworth.
as like a soldier, a British secret soldier training in the 60s?
No.
I don't think they're going to use this. It's going to be a different guy.
No.
Yeah.
How come you don't ask me if I'm interested?
What about you, Anthony? Will you watch Pennyworth?
If you make me watch one episode, I'll watch it.
Okay.
One episode.
I don't even think I want to watch one episode of this fucking show.
I think it's a kind of a lame idea.
Who cares about fucking Alfred Pennyworth's origin? I don't know. Doesn't make any sense.
Hey, did the Krypton get canceled yet?
Krypton, I don't know. Let's talk about what other shows got renewed. As usual, par for the course.
I don't know, but moving on.
All the CW shows got renewed, like your Flash, your Arrow, your Black Lightning, Supergirl.
But didn't they move Supergirl to Sunday?
They're all coming back. I'm not sure. I haven't caught up on this season's Supergirl at all.
I heard that they're moving her to Sunday.
Moving her to Sunday from Monday. Lucifer got canceled, so if you were into that show, tough luck. Sorry. And of course, they had to officially cancel the Inhumans. Like they had to say it's canceled. Like you didn't really even have to. You could have saved your press release for that one. But here's something that happened just today at those things I mentioned, the upfronts, which is where they announce all the new TV stuff, promo art, and Stephen Amell standing on stage announced for the very first time appearing in the Arrowverse. They will be fighting alongside Batwoman.
Oh, shit. Geek boner.
In the crossover next season. He's standing in front of this awesome image of Arrow, Supergirl, and the Flash. In the back, you see the red bat signal, which is Kate Kane, also known as Batwoman's symbol. So, wow, Batwoman Coming to the Arrowverse. Anthony, what do you think? Good idea? You excited for the Batwoman?
Man, I've been joking about you not asking me things because I'm the wrong person. I haven't been watching Arrow.
That's true.
Well, like this is what DC's kind of doing. They're giving you the female version of the superheroes. Like they have Supergirl,
right?
Batwoman.
We have
right. So we have all of the main guys.
And then we have.
I wonder if they're gonna have like Wonder Man.
Well, yeah, flip it around. We can't do Wonder Woman. We'll give
Doesn't Wonder Woman have a brother?
Wonder Brother. I don't know.
No, she does.
Ares.
She does in this. She does.
Well,
she
in
does
that
have
one version.
Yeah.
Batwoman. I don't know much about the character, but.
No, it's actually a very cool comic.
Yeah.
Created by Jeff Johns, Grant Morrison, Greg Rucka, Mark Wade.
I believe she's lesbian.
2006.
That has anything to do with anything. But
yes, she. This incarnation was Bruce Wayne's cousin,
Kathy Kane.
Kate Kane.
I just remember buying him. I have a lot of issues of Batwoman because I love the artwork.
Oh yeah.
It's amazing.
I never read any of the Batwoman, but the fact that they're actually going to add Gotham into the Arrowverse, I don't know if they may have mentioned Gotham once or twice, like on Arrow, but wow, that's crazy. Just give us Batman. Just fucking kill Gotham and put Batman on the CW Arrowverse. This won't be confusing.
I don't think
at
they
all.
can do I don't think they'll do a Batman TV show.
They need to do it. If they're going to do a Batman show, they have to do it on the level of. See, Gotham pretty much ruined a Batman show.
Yeah, a little bit.
It did.
Yep,
That's why I hate Gotham.
Yep.
Because they did Gotham. They should have just done a Batman show. And now, like, we already just saw all these origins and things happening and all of these characters. And now you got to see them again. It's like, fuck this.
Dude, that show is so wacky. So there was an article that explained why they couldn't actually name the guy the Joker, right? It's just Jerome Velasquez, brother Jeremiah, lots of J's. But there are scenes of this where he looks exactly like the Joker from 89 Batman. He's got like the hat and the dark suit, and it's on a street. It looks like a Tim Burton movie. And I'm like, this is not the Joker. What are you doing? They're just going and having fun with these things.
Yeah, but I don't understand how you're going to. I don't know. You can't do a Batman show now.
No, and if they're gonna make him Batman in that last season, they've ruined it just like Zack Snyder has ruined any chance of a good like Dark Knight Returns actual live action adaptation. Last thing in TV news, I just wanted to mention how much Cobra Kai is crushing it. It's outperforming shows on Netflix and Hulu. There is a free trial. I finished the series. Holy shit, is it good?
Shit.
It's so good. Like, it just brought me back to fucking 1984 to watching The Karate Kid. The second half of it
shouldn't have worked.
No, but it did. It's so perfect. Like, the tone is perfect. The second half brings back the All Valley Karate Championship, which has still been going on for 50 years. And there's just one moment where Danny shows up to the tournament, and there's a vertical banner in front of him, and it's a picture of him in the crane kick from the movie, and you're like, wow, that's so great to see that. And the whole twist of relationships, it ends great, and they set it up for a nice second season, which it is getting.
Yeah, my biggest takeaway from that is that, and I think I tweeted it, I was like, that's how you do something that is an offshoot of something else. Like, that's how you continue a legacy.
That's the thing. It's not a reboot. It's not a sequel. It's just a continuation.
Yeah, it's like you don't have to step on everything and fuck shit up in order to do it. You don't have to like take Ghostbusters and revamp it. You could just because you want to make money up, you could get the original people and then kind of build new characters and that's the legacy.
And that's exactly what they did with their kids, taking the legacy, and you really get invested in their kids and you want to see what happens next season. Anthony, get the free trial of the YouTube.
Yeah, no, I've heard a lot about this show and a lot of really good reviews. So
holy shit,
maybe.
Yeah, it's good shit. Someone else was like William Zabka, who plays Johnny the bully. They're like, William Zabka should play Guy Gardner Green Lantern. I think he'd be pretty good. That's not a bad pick for him. Make him, because he's such a fucking
about
asshole.
This Tom Cruise Green Lantern thing?
This has been a rumor for a long time. What's the latest, Ruggs? What happened now?
No, I just been seeing a lot of Twitter memes with Tom Cruise's Green Lantern for some reason.
That's been a rumor for a while. I hope that doesn't happen.
Tom Cruise as Green Lantern?
Yeah, Hal Jordan.
Oh, God. No, that can't be real.
No, he's too old. Sorry, Tom. And too short. Even though he can wear lifts. Plus, stick to your...
His career...
The Mission
after
Impossible
that Mummy movie
looks good.
He's not looking good.
He was always wanted to be a superhero. He just never did it.
Yeah, I wonder...
Too short.
I wonder who he would want to play.
I guess Mission Impossible will probably be a hit, and his
wanted
name
the
will be
Iron
there.
Man.
Yeah, he did. At one point, he could, if they were doing it in the 80s, he could have been the Iron Man. This new Mission Impossible, it looks fucking sick. There's a new trailer I watched. It looked really cool. I was like, wow, that looks exciting. I will watch this.
Those movies are always a good little action flick. They're not like to be taken that seriously. There's a lot of fucking contrived action that's impossible. That you're like, what the? How did they fucking do this?
I kind of want to see Henry Cavill beat the shit out of Tom Cruise also.
Yeah.
Which seems like that's what you're going to get. Looks like a brutal beatdown. Quick Stan Lee update, everybody. Things are getting weirder. Continue to get weird for the Stan Lee. If you check his Twitter account, which is at The Real Stan Lee, most of the stuff that he was tweeting was like links to articles with the headline and a link to the article. Definitely looks like, a social media manager or a program that he had set up. And then suddenly, like May 12th, a tweet from The Real Stan Lee, who is your favorite character in the new Avengers movie? Then following that, today was the first day I ever did a tweet myself. Before today, my account was done by others. I still do not have control of my Facebook. Someone else is doing it, not me. All these weird tweets, he said, his Facebook and Instagram are hijacked. Can you guys help me get it back? And then a video message from the man himself. I was really grateful.
Do you think this is legit, though?
I don't know. Listen to what he says here. I don't know what's going on.
Listened to it.
Yeah, here, let's have the listener listen, and we'll talk about what's going on.
Hey, true believers. I just want to tell you I love your comments on Twitter. I don't know how much I've been missing now that I see them. And I just want you to know I appreciate everything you say and do. I love you all, and let's keep up this great relationship. Excelsior.
Hey, I love how he goes, Twitter.
I'll see you on Twitter.
I love he says Twitter. That's why I'll see you on the Twitter. Everybody, Excelsior. Now, look, my first instinct was like, whoa, is it now hacked? And the guy hacking it saying it got hacked? Anthony, what do you think about this? Do you think this is actually him now?
Him tweeting?
Yeah.
No.
Who knows? Probably
maybe he's
not.
tweeting through someone, but maybe someone figured out hey, Stan Lee, you can tweet. And this is what happens. And they explained it to him.
It's his buddy.
And he's like, oh, I can do this?
His manager.
I can use the Twitter?
Yeah. But on Twitter, he's like, how do I post the video? I want to answer your questions. And his buddy, Kia Morgan, may be helping him. So then, very quickly, right after all that, just a few days ago, headline comes out. Stan Lee files $1 billion lawsuit against POW Entertainment.
Oh, shit.
Which he is alleging those are the people that were controlling his social media. Stan Lee has filed suit against POW, a company he's been associated since the early 2000s, alleging that the company forged or otherwise fraudulently obtained exclusive rights to Lee's name, image, and likeness, and is seeking $1 billion in damages. POW Entertainment releases a thing saying this is preposterous.
We don't have $1 million.
First of all, we don't have that amount is a little bit like a Dr. Evil amount. I want $1 billion.
Yeah.
So this.
When's the last time POW Entertainment was in vogue?
Not for a long time.
What's POW Entertainment?
Yeah, exactly.
So this is the company he made after he left Marvel. It's called Stan Lee's POW Entertainment, and I think he's tried to launch cartoons or original comic books, and they're the ones I think will also manage his events and his showings. And so it's very confusing.
I'm looking at their Wikipedia, their revenue is everything is red arrow down.
Oh no,
they're losing money. Down. They're losing everything. Their equity's down.
He just wants his Facebook back. Just give him back his Facebook.
He said he didn't sign. He didn't know what he was signing. He didn't see it. He's actually legally blind from advanced macular degeneration and normally has documents read to him. But he's saying nobody read these to him now. Maybe he forgot. Maybe he's telling the truth. Maybe somebody's telling him to say this. I don't know what the fuck's going on. The Stan Lee situation gets weird and weird. I hope he's okay.
Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah, it's...
But I'm going to tweet him.
Shit.
Everyone tweet him your support at The Real Stan Lee if it's really here. Okay.
He's not reading your tweets.
No.
Someone's reading it to him.
Well, there's screen readers and accessibility things.
He's like, Alexa, play me my tweets.
Alexa, read the last 5 tweets from Twitter. No, he's just like, hey, Twitter, read me my last message.
Order me a ham sandwich from Slotsky's.
Has anybody seen my checkbook?
Reading my tweets. Has anyone seen my checkbook?
Jack Kirby, you son of a bitch. Okay, last bit of news. It's actually jock news, everyone.
Oh, shit.
Surprise, surprise. I want to get Anthony's thoughts on something the Supreme Court did earlier. The Supreme Court cleared the way Monday for states coast to coast to legalize betting on sports.
Oh, shit.
Breaking a longtime ban and creating a potential financial boon for states and the gambling industry. The first bets could be placed within weeks. Despite opposition from major sports leagues and the Trump administration, the High Court struck down a federal law that had barred betting on football, basketball, baseball, and other sports in most states. States that want to take advantage of the ruling will now have to pass legislation to allow sports books to open. Guess who has a head start? The state that brought the courts to the Supreme Court. Guess who it is, Ruggs?
I don't know.
New Jersey. New Jersey is the one that brought this to the Supreme Court's attention.
So it's got to be an East Coast thing.
Holy shit, Anthony, what does this mean? Does this mean we'll be able to go to like a sporting event and in the concourse you can legally place a bet on the outcome of the game?
I don't know if it'll go that far. So I talked to a few people. There's still a lot of stuff that I'd need to read to be really versed on this, but I've talked to a few people. Apparently, if you're living in the state, and someone correct me if I'm wrong, but if you're in the state, you can't bet on those teams that are in the state.
Oh, but any other state you can bet.
But you can bet on other teams from other states. So like you couldn't be like living in Illinois and bet on the Bulls.
I
think. I'm not 100%
what's
sure.
What's logic there?
I think it makes sense.
The logic there is that it's just so that, I mean, there's people aren't fixing the games and being like there isn't like people calling the players and be like, if everyone bet in Illinois, like theoretically, if someone was playing in Illinois, they'd have access to people like these bookies or whatever that are living in Illinois and telling them, hey, throw this game, throw that game. It's basically to like counteract players,
now
not actually giving their all in games.
Correct me if I'm wrong, that there's already betting in Las Vegas, right?
Vegas is the only state you can bet
on sports.
So
this is going to take a lot of juice away from Vegas, possibly.
Yeah, it could hurt Vegas.
So Vegas probably doesn't like this. What do you think the sports?
This is you. So to answer your question, though, if this
it's pretty big.
Each state is going to have their own vote on this stuff, and there's still a lot of stuff that's going to get in the way. But this is huge. Most people that bet either in Vegas or they bet online through their apps illegally overseas,
right?
Or not legally, but legally overseas. They're not betting here. They're just using their phones. So, if theoretically, it could be a thing where you just go to, the street corner and there's a store and you place your bet on your sports and
like
you keep going about your day.
OTB places.
Yeah. To be able to legalize betting across the country, that's going to change everything. All the leagues are either going to be like, they're going to look at this like either they're going to make a ton of money, but then they're also going to be worried as fuck that the integrity of their games are going to be compromised.
I was wondering what the sports leagues were feeling, whether this
the NBA and Major League Baseball, I'm like full steam ahead. Like,
they're all
let's
in.
do this because we can make money off of this.
Okay.
Like, I think I read the NBA is like, we want 1% of every bet that's placed on our sports, on our games.
Look, American Gaming Association, it says in this article that according to them, Americans wager about $150 billion on sports each year illegally. Think of like the revenue off of that you could actually get and use like that. This is huge. Now, to me, this is like that. Our country is so weird. It's one of those vice things, like gambling, marijuana, prostitution should all be legalized, should be regulated.
I was about to say that.
And taxed. Why, Ruggs? Why do you think the vice thing should just be legal? It'll remove all the crime and the taboo from all this shit.
I was just thinking, okay, now this is legal. What other illegal thing can they make legal? The next logical step is prostitution.
We've gotten marijuana. That's still going around. It's going to be nationwide. This breaks down the gambling. This is huge for that. The next thing is let's legalize prostitution, because in that case, you have these street workers who are actually suffering. They are being abused, mistreated, used. They don't have any protections. Let them have protection. Stop the trafficking, but get the workers some fucking protection. There, I'm off my soapbox. I mean,
it's always been kind of absurd to me.
Yeah.
That Nevada has this like pass on everything.
Right.
You can do everything, but anywhere else you can't.
Jesus.
Sports betting. I don't know. I'm not a huge gambler, but I don't see why it should be illegal to bet on sports in your home state.
So, like,
if that's what you want to do with your money,
that's
the only worry is the integrity of the game. Is if this became such a big thing. I mean, it is a big thing, but if it became even bigger, that the athletes were now throwing games, I mean, that would suck. That'd
also,
be bad.
gambling is super addictive to some.
I always figured that the reason why everything's legal in Las Vegas is because it's so fucking hot there.
Let them do whatever
It's
they
like,
want.
all right, listen,
There's no
it's
instinct.
fucking hot. All right, you'll burn your balls.
Dude, in Vegas, you could be fighting an MMA fight while you're betting on a game and fucking a horse and smoking a joint, and it's completely legal.
Well, you know why a lot of that stuff got legal, in Vegas, or why it originated in Vegas, is because when they were building the Hoover Dam, they had an influx of people that came in, like 25,000 men.
Workers,
mostly men that had nothing better to do. So then the mob came in and was like, well, we can make money off these guys by giving them things to gamble on and drinking and prostitution. Like,
mob was
they were catering to the influx of men that were in a desert.
And somehow they got it all legal just in the state.
Right.
After all that time.
But Vegas, though, is funny because the state of Nevada, it is legal. It's legal to have prostitution everywhere except in Las Vegas.
Right. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Does it make any sense? Also, do you know the other?
This is huge. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
this is big.
This is great. Thanks to David Zika actually for posting this to the Facebook group.
Well, you wouldn't have known about this otherwise?
No, I wouldn't. I thought this is a huge thing for gambling. It's just I thought they would just be like slot machines everywhere. But then I read it more carefully.
Gambling is still restricted.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't just set up a casino anywhere right now.
No, you have to have some kind of license and shit.
The Vice rules are weird. I think I've said this on the show before. Do you know that if you hire, let's say you get a prostitute, you're paying someone to have money, that's illegal, right? But the minute you put a camera in the room filming you, you are now making a pornographic film totally legal.
Oh, shit.
No problem. There's your loophole. So the next time you want to get a prostitute, just fucking set up your iPhone and film it. And there's your loophole. You won't get busted. Tell them you heard it right here on the Jock and Nerd.
Thought about this a lot.
Many times. Okay, moving on to the next segment. Since it was kind of a slow news week, I thought we could enlighten the listener on the latest dumb shit on the internet.
Yeah.
Right.
The latest memes. Ruggs, you brought to our attention a certain meme floating around earlier this week. Why don't you introduce this one?
Well, this is the woman who called the cops on people barbecuing. So,
yes,
this white woman wearing sunglasses who kind of looks like Steven Seagal.
A little bit, yes.
She does.
She looks like Steven Seagal, absolutely.
She sees this black family barbecuing, and she gets a bug up her ass because they're using charcoal, and that's not allowed. So she calls the cops, and the best part is, then a white woman who's like kind of like hippie-ish, like an old lady, starts filming her.
Yes.
And like antagonizing her and calling her a racist. And then when the cops finally get there, the woman who's been waiting for hours, like calling the cops on these people for just having a fucking barbecue, starts crying. This woman has been harassing me.
Oh my God.
That's
I'm like,
great.
the ultimate bullshit. And it's so anyway, people started making memes like immediately.
Yes,
like
the memes are hilarious.
So basically, anytime there's black people doing anything, she's calling the cops.
So her name is Susan. Here's I'll put a link to there's a 24-minute video where you can watch the whole thing.
I watched 70% of it.
I watched the beginning and the end, and I'm like, bitch, why are you crying? There's no reason you should be crying at the end.
A lot of it too is the reason why this lady comes up and starts recording, not only because it's kind of absurd to get mad about the charcoal, is apparently before she was filming, that lady was quite nasty with those black people.
Oh, really?
And then once she got her on film, the lady like kind of calmed down.
Up and
and kind of started putting on an act for the camera.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she came. I'm like,
I mean, it is. I mean, I think she might. I don't know. I didn't look up the fucking law.
Yeah.
I think she might have been right that you can't use a fucking charcoal grill there.
Designated
but it's like
grilling areas.
But it's so like menial.
What are you gonna be a a petty asshole.
Look, this dumb bitch just came up with that because she didn't want to tell people she's racist.
Well, she starts crying by the end because that lady just won't get out of her face.
Oh my
and he's
God.
literally like walking with her down the street. And apparently she had been waiting for 2 hours, and she now
so clearly the cops didn't give a shit either.
Felt threatened.
The cops were like, "Oh, this fucking lady. Let's just put her on hold."
No charges were filed on anybody.
No, because they were just barbecuing. Nobody was doing anything. But she like breaks down like she's like, she harassed me. This fucking lady turns on the waterworks. It's an amazing performance. Check out the video. But the memes that it has instigated, for example, here's a picture of Martin Luther King at his I Have a Dream speech. And ooh, what's that? There's Susan going, "Hello, officers, it's me, Susan. I'd like to report a disturbance in Washington, D.C. There's some black man talking about his dreams, and I don't feel safe." Which is
I don't feel safe.
Which is a great one.
That's a good one.
That's a really good one. They put her in the back of Wakanda in Black Panther, where he's getting ready.
You gotta see these.
But some of these just make me laugh out loud. Like she's on the bus with Rosa Parks. She's calling the cops on Rosa Parks.
On this kind of note, though, I was on Facebook today. Very rarely on Facebook, but there's like this Facebook page where they post. It's very liberal, but they'll post videos and stuff. And they posted this black guy who's like he's an inspector, so he's inspecting a home.
Yeah.
And this black guy is like recording how he goes to this home to inspect the house, and he has like permits and contracts to do it. And this lady's just berating him. "You got to get out of our neighborhood."
Oh,
What the hell
shit.
are you doing? Calls the cops on him.
Oh shit!
But this is one of those situations where the cops are like, they get there and they're like, "What the fuck?" basically, and they're like to the lady, "Yeah, he can expect all of this. Like, if you keep harassing him, you're gonna go to jail." And then she's all like, "Okay, then do it. Hurry up, do it quick, and get out of here." And they're like, the cops are like, "He can take as long as he wants, ma'am. He can inspect this house as long as he wants. He's doing everything legally. Don't tell him to hurry up. If you harass him more, you're going to jail." And I was
There you go.
What
Nice.
the fuck? Well, first of all, you're not even supposed to be at home when there's a fucking house inspector.
No, she's a neighbor.
Oh, she's the neighbor.
She's the neighbor. So she just saw a black guy in the neighborhood going to his house and thought it was suspicious. But it's clearly because he's fucking black.
And there's a rise of these stories of like
people. These I think these things always exist is because it's racist people, and they do racist things. But now that we know about that in the world now, where everything is news and then people can record things and stuff, like you got the guy. There's a woman who called, or somebody called the cops on Airbnb people who were like legally using the Airbnb.
Right,
They're like,
right.
Why are these black people here?
Same thing with the Starbucks incident. I read another incident where a guy was like with a stroller with his baby, and this jogger running by called the police. She said she thought he was suspicious. The guy's got a baby in a stroller. He's walking through the park in the morning. For fuck's sake.
One story. I got one story from personally. So I was with my aunt as a little kid, and it was in Chicago, and there's like backyards or whatever, and we were coming in through the backyard. I was maybe like 8 or 9 years old. My aunt's a white lady. And we look over, and there's this like Hispanic dude like hanging out, chilling in the yard, like looking at shit.
Okay.
Never seen it. Like no one knows. We didn't know who the fuck he was or anything.
Yeah.
Dogs, like for the other neighbors, dogs are barking at him. He's just hanging out there, like looking at something. So my aunt calls the cops. It's a very similar situation.
Oh,
I don't know if she thought I don't know if it was like a racial thing. I don't think it was. Like I think it was just like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
And it ended up being he was a meter, like a ComEd meter guy.
Oh
He was trying to read the fucking meter.
Reading the meter.
But I mean, so I can kind of sympathize with like if you don't know somebody and they're in your neighbor's yard, like you're like, what the fuck?
Well, they've made us scared of everything, really.
Right.
But
like the over the top reactions after.
That's hilarious.
No, when you find out you're wrong, you should be like, "Oh, my bad. Sorry, I'm a dick."
Just admit it, and instead of saying, but they have charcoal grill." Look, all I know.
that lady is real. I mean, the Steven Seagal lady is
racist. Susan Steven Seagal lady. I'll tell you one thing. All I know is like, as long as it's taking the heat off the fucking Muslims called terrorists, you know what? It's good. We get to breathe. We can take a breather a little bit. No one's looking at people.
As long
with
as
beards.
it's not us. If it's them, it's okay.
It's fine.
You asshole.
Everyone with a big Islamic beard can kind of relax. Happy Ramadan to you.
Shut up. You're white.
Ramadan has started. I'm such a phony Pakistani.
You're not even Ramadan started. Do you even do
you
Ramadan?
fasting?
No, fuck no. I'm not doing that. I will say happy Ramadan.
Don't speak for the Muslim people and then don't participate in Ramadan.
I'm not. I'm not. I don't think any Muslim that's participating in Ramadan would be listening to this show. Clearly, you found the wrong
You're like,
show.
great. They're not talking about the Muslim people as if you speak for them.
I'm such a poser Pakistani Muslim.
Yeah, you're the
It's
worst,
Not
man.
even funny. Like I'm white on the outside, and I guess I'm not brown on the inside. I'm also white. Happy Ramadan. Wait till the sun goes down. Okay, next fucking internet
Wait
meme.
till the sun goes down.
Yeah, you gotta wait till the sun goes down. Then you can eat and dance. Well, not dance. Drink.
You'd like to dance.
I like to dance.
You took off your clothes and danced naked one time in a music video. From what I heard.
Well, it was a movie.
There you go.
Yeah, it was a student.
It wasn't
film.
dancing.
Wasn't dancing.
No.
I'll tell you exactly what it is.
Oh boy.
he took. It was the last day of school, right? It's the last day of school.
In the movie, yes, it was the last day of school.
Okay, and there's a fight that breaks out, and Imran takes off all of his clothes and like runs into a classroom and says, "Fight!"
Butt ass naked. Before that, I was walking by a bank of phone booths with people, and the bell rang, and I thought the day was over, and I get really excited. I take off all my clothes.
Yeah.
And then to be informed by the character behind me, he goes, "Dude, it's only lunch." And like I look down and all my clothes are gone, and I walk off camera. That is a scene that exists somewhere on film of me
Are you
completely
as fat
naked.
as you are now?
No.
Okay.
I was a skinny crackhead Imran, maybe. I don't know.
All right.
I can't remember.
What
still
color was your
it was-
body?
I was
It was still
definitely
disturbing.
I was definitely more brown than I was now.
So you had brown.
So it looked like when I took my clothes off, it looked like a pinto pony or a milk cow from a Wisconsin farm, if you could imagine, or one of those cute little beagles that's like brown and white and spots. Look, spots on an animal, cute. Spots on a human, not so cute.
Yeah.
Some reason, I don't know why.
That is
It looked
disturbing
like,
because
it looked like he had the atlas painted on.
Yeah, you could kind of look like
it's
a map.
disturbing because it's not something you see every
It was
day.
a topographic map of South America on my body.
Oh God.
Ooh, it's quite an image. If
What color was your penis?
It was both. It was striped. I've done this joke. My penis, like those Jello
It looked
pudding
like a candy cane.
like those Jello pudding snacks that are like chocolate, vanilla, and chocolate. Like the Jello snack pack.
Yeah.
It's like a hairy snack pack.
Oh, shit.
That's what it looked like. Not anymore.
Oh,
The only thing changing colors is my facial hair.
I'm laughing because I seen it. That's all.
It's funny
I'm laughing
because it's
I
true.
remember it.
Okay, can we get to this next dumb meme that?
No,
that
we can stay on this for
we
an hour.
could stay on this. For,
No, let's go. Let's go.
we'll talk about naked cow
Let's talk
body.
about Matt Miller.
No, not Matt Miller. I want to talk about this dumb audio viral thing that was really hot and viral for like a day, and now everyone is sick of it. We
Yeah,
will.
by the time we're talking about it, when the show releases, this will be done.
We're now going to document it for future generations that this thing happened. Yanni or Laurel? Question mark. Of course, I'm talking about the latest internet
I got bro science on
audio.
this.
Oh, okay. So here's the deal, Ruggs. There is a clip and there's a disagreement on this audio clip on what this person is saying. The New York Times, and with all their money and journalistic efforts, have made an amazing player for this where you can slide the pitch. So we're just going to start here. I'm going to play this clip. You guys tell me what does this guy say?
I think I heard a dog.
Yeah, that was a dog.
Is that what the?
No.
No?
That's a dog barking. That's not what the clip is. Here,
Oh.
here is
Laurel. Laurel.
All right.
Laurel. Laurel.
okay, Ruggs. What is he saying there?
Yeri.
Wow, you hear
Oh, shit.
You hear Yeri.
I also hear Laurel, but like I hear them both.
Oh, right away, I heard Laurel. What did you hear first, Anthony?
I heard Laurel every time there.
And the reason you hear Laurel is because this was a clip from like dictionary.com, the pronunciation for the word Laurel. So he's saying Laurel. However, I was walking by an office of a coworker and she was playing it on her phone. And from a distance where I didn't hear the bass, I just kind of heard the high end frequencies. I fucking heard Yanni.
Oh,
I was like,
shit.
wait a minute. Now I'm hearing Yammy. And as I walked closer and the sound kind of filled out, I heard Laurel. So, for example, here is that same clip pitched up 40%. Ruggs, you tell me what you hear.
Laurel. Laurel.
What do you hear there?
I hear Laurel.
Okay, same clip pitched down 30%.
Oh,
Yummy. Yummy.
What do you hear there?
Yeri.
Yeah, Yanny. Okay, what's the bro science on this, Anthony? I feel like
wait, this is like
it's both things.
this kind of like disproves what I was saying. But I thought I read something, or I watched a video on YouTube from this like neuroscientist, and basically there's a couple of things going on here. First off, the clip is distorted already.
Okay, sure.
So that's going to have an effect on what you hear. It sounds like it might have been a recording of a recording.
So okay, somebody recorded it on their phone, probably.
Now,
off the computer.
What you said kind of disproves what I'm saying, so I'm kind of like confused now about what I'm about to say.
Okay.
But yanny is a higher pitch.
Yes.
So when it's a higher, so when you're hearing things at a higher frequency, you'll hear yanny.
Yeah.
When you're hearing things at a lower frequency, you're supposed to hear laurel.
When you hear the full sound.
Yanny.
Yeah.
Like those are higher. The yanny is different. It's a higher frequency, a higher pitch, or a higher frequency. Sorry. So it really depends on what kind of device you're hearing it through, because different devices distort frequencies at different levels. Also, there's a lot of science behind the fact that women can hear higher frequencies a little better than men.
Oh, they hear yanny.
And men hear lower frequencies.
Men
so a lot of times it's common that men will hear laurel and women will hear yanny. There's also the fact that not only of it being a distorted sound, but what you're hearing it through, but also could be the fact that as you damage your hearing, you're not able to hear a higher frequency as well. So if you've been to a lot of concerts, or if you if you played in a band, or if you go to a lot of clubs, you might not hear yanny as well as you hear laurel. So for me, this kind of makes sense. I'm a man, so I'm hearing I'm hearing the lower frequency of laurel. I've been to a lot of fucking concerts.
That's gonna fuck up your high frequencies.
Like when you were playing with the frequencies, Imran, I'm hearing laurel way more often than I'm ever hearing yanny. You had to really put it to the other end of the spectrum for me to even hear yanny.
Me too, and I heard both. But like you just said, everyone has a little bit of hearing damage. Even if you think you don't, you do. Everybody has a little bit.
And apparently, go ahead. I was gonna say one more thing. The exact clip is distorted almost at the perfect level where you can hear both. Like the frequencies are like high and low.
The surprising thing was I was in my office with 6 people, played the same clip. Half of us said laurel, half of us said yanny, standing next to each other. I was like, get the fuck out of here.
Amongst my friends, it's the same thing. What were you going to say, Ruggs?
I was just going to say that when you look at a sound wave and you can punch up different parts of the sound, so basically when you have it, so the mid spikes, it sounds like yanny.
Right.
So when it spikes up during the A part of the word, it sounds like yanny because the L's get buried.
It's amazing how you get a yeah and a law at the same time, just based on where the pitch is, where the frequency is.
Yeah, because it's kind of like a yarrow. Laurel.
I read that. I don't know if this is true, but I also read online that the reason this originated is because, like you said, it was dictionary.com. Apparently, a teacher was playing it in class.
Yeah.
And the class started arguing with one another because some people heard laurel and some people heard yanny. And it was supposed to be laurel, but some people were adamant that they had heard yanny. So one of the students then just put it on the internet.
This is just like that whole
that student stabbed
symbiote.
the other student. Yeah, symbiote.
Like this just happened. Symbiote.
It's laurel, you bastard. And then a big fight breaks out. They just laurel.
I mean, this is your today's version of black and gold or white and gold and black and blue dress.
So the answer is it's laurel, but it's also both is the answer, which is very confusing.
It's supposed to be laurel.
It's supposed to be laurel, but definitely...
Yanny's not a fucking name.
Yanny is not a word. To be fair, laurel is actual word of the things there. Yanny is that guy, that Greek guy who plays the piano. Isn't that Yanny? Yanni?
Yeah,
Yanny.
He played the Acropolis.
He played at the Acropolis. Huge concert.
Yanni.
I can imagine a Jewish guy being Yanni.
Yanni or Laurel sounds like a Jewish law firm. Oh, that's for sure.
But there's your bro science. I'm not sure if that's right.
I like it. That was crazy. That fucked me up for about a day, and then I totally was over it, and everyone will forget about it by tomorrow.
No, someone played Yanny for me, and I heard Yanny. Yeah. And I was like, all right, well, what the fuck? I don't get it.
Because it's not Yanny.
There is one more thing, too, that the guy talked about. He mentioned that exact thing. He's like, if you have a expectation for what you're supposed to hear, that will distort it, too.
I had that same thing. It's like once I heard the Yanny, I kept hearing the Yanny.
Right.
But then I kept saying Laurel to myself, and then it kind of flipped back. It was really weird because I did hear both of them.
Yeah.
Ugh, that fucked me up.
It makes you wonder what people are hearing every day when people speak to
maybe
one
this
another.
is why people like rap music that I don't like. Maybe they're hearing something different than I like.
Dude, I know my hearing's fucking damaged because I spent years in a band playing.
Maybe that shit really is good, and I don't.
We just can't hear the frequencies. Also, and so
you mean Little Xan is really a genius?
Dude, I would crank up my amp and play way too loud. Also, have you guys heard of the brown note, the infamous urban legend?
Oh, I make that note every time I take a shit.
What's the brown note, Ruggs?
It's the note that makes you shit yourself.
Yeah, it's a note that's so low that it instantly makes you shit your pants.
Oh, shit.
Is that a real thing?
I don't know. It's been like an urban myth.
It's real for me.
Also, stories of the military using it, as a weapon.
That was part of. They used it in an episode of The League where everyone was at a.
There's a brown note.
At a ball, and then they played a note at a really low note, and everyone started shitting their pants.
I don't know if it's a real note, but that would be one hell of a ball game to go to. Let me tell you. All right, mailbag to wrap up the show. Guess what we got more speak pipes from? Guess who? If you listen,
Matt Miller.
Yes. If you listened to last episode, Matt Miller sent us a lovely series of speak pipes, suggested the Marvel versus DC fight, which we had a lot of fun going through that segment. Well, let's find out what Matt thought, all right? I'm not going to tell you how many he sent, but I am going to play all of them. But hang in there. Here we go. Here's the first one.
All of them, dude?
Yes.
Oh, my
What's
God.
up, fellas? This is Matt here, Matty J. Per Imran's request, this is part 1 of a 12-part epilogue I will be starting on the Jock and Nerd podcast.
Oh, shit.
Detailing my life, tragedies, accomplishments, and goals for the future. Let's begin. It's a magical journey about to happen. Hold my hand as we go on it together.
All right, Matty, you got me. Strap in. Here we go.
He doesn't have me.
It all began on the 17th day of the second month in 1990. My father, my mother, made me.
I love it. Where does it go from there, Matt?
Hey, guys, seriously, thanks so much for doing my idea that I sent in, the DC versus Marvel matchups. That was awesome. 5/13/18 changed my life forever. I was officially on the Jock and Nerd podcast. Those recordings were awesome to listen to again. I got a couple things to say real quick. Imran, I love how every time you come up with a stupid idea, Anthony immediately shits all over it.
It's great.
Very cynical.
They are stupid ideas.
Rug Boy, since you didn't have a question for me, I have a question for you.
Ooh.
Do you bleed? Do you get it? That's from Justice League. Speaking of Justice League, Batman is a bitch, Anthony. I don't understand why people like him. He has no powers, and he would get killed in real life in like a second. So that's
in real life,
stupid.
people have powers.
I got another idea for you guys. You guys should do like a quiz show where you match up Anthony versus Imran or Imran versus Rug Boy and do some superhero trivia. That'd be pretty cool.
Terrible idea.
I wouldn't charge you for the first idea I sent you, but this one I'll probably send you an invoice for.
You won't get any money for it.
Listening to the last show was awesome, guys. Gave my geek boner some geek tears, if you know what I mean. So yeah, keep it up. Love the show. See you guys.
Thanks, Matthew Miller. Look, listen to Trivia
This can't be a
Geeks.
running thing for Imran.
This can't. Look,
It has to stop at some point.
Yeah, this has to stop.
I can't control
We
it.
can get the clips. We're not playing these every week.
Why are you putting people through this?
Matt Miller, you heard him. All right, look, I got one more. This may be the last we ever hear Matt Miller.
In conclusion, Matty J here again. Rug Boy really kind of stung me with his try on Pokemon Go. Really cut me down to the core there. If you want to come at me, bro, I'll have you know I'm a level 35 Team Instinct, and I will wreck you if you want to meet me in a gym ever. Pokemon gym, that is. Not a real gym. I will wreck you, bro. I got a couple 3000s in the team right here. The squad.
Okay,
Stay
I got
tuned
lighter
for my
fluid.
Deadpool 2 review. I'll be sending that to you
Bring
guys
your deck.
on Friday or Saturday. And yeah, can't wait to hear about that review as well. All right, guys. See ya.
Let's see. He's going to send us his Deadpool review. At least somebody sent
Show me
something
your
in.
deck, and I'll show you.
Show me your deck.
I'll show you. I'll show you how I light my cigarette.
Burn all your cards. Look, Matt Miller sent in your Deadpool review. We'd love to have it. But at least somebody is sending something in. Also, just right before we started recording, I got
This isn't one of those things where like any press is good press, Imran.
No? Not?
No.
Well, somebody's using it. Okay, I got one more speak pipe that just came in. It's 30 seconds, and it's just titled, I don't know who sent it, because it's titled, Hello, Anthony. Here it is.
Yeah, hello. This is for Anthony. I just recently listened to your Jock and Nerd podcast, and it was brought to my attention that you don't get anybody ever to say hello to you in the person and or on the phone. So I wanted to fill in that void in your life.
Oh.
Hello, Anthony. I hope you're doing well. If you would like to get together, I know where you live. Bye.
Oh, shit. Jock and Nerd. That was awesome, anonymous.
That doesn't
old
sound like a real person.
I don't know who that was, but I
appreciate it, though. I like the hello.
Somebody said, see?
Was that Imran?
No, that wasn't me. I didn't fucking...
Yeah, was that you?
No, I thought it was Rug Boy. It wasn't me.
No, it wasn't me. I wish I did.
That's pretty good, though.
It's very good. Somebody said hello to Anthony. Just Anthony. I love it. Anthony!
I appreciate that. I appreciate the hello.
Get me a cannoli, Anthony. Okay, last thing. I got an email from Ron Hans, listener and patron. He says, hey, fellas, first off, I am glad that I could get the conversation going in the last episode. I agree with Tony that to get the full enjoyment of this movie, you need to have seen at least 8 to 10 of the MCU movies. He's talking about Avengers. However, in making it, I don't think Marvel really gave a shit, and why would they, about the person that could be coming into the MCU for the first time with this movie. Every movie they have put out has been number one in its opening week. So while I agree with Tony that is not a great standalone movie, I think we can all agree it was never intended to be taken that way. You guys said it correctly, that this is an event comic come to life. A movie of this type and the scale has never been attempted. And think of it in the way that they pulled it off is remarkable. And in the context of the MCU, it is a really good movie.
Yeah, well, you said all this.
We did say all this. With that, though, I hope my back and forth on Twitter with Ruggs cleared up that I was not shitting on him for being negative in the reviews. More often than not, I have my own nitpicks with the movie, and when I listen to the reviews and Ruggs or Tony points it out something stupid that I had a problem with, it puts a smile on my face.
That's what we're here to do,
that's
really.
what-
Put
that's-
smiles on people's faces.
That's right. It makes
Except for Imran's face.
It makes me know that I am not just being a petty dick about something.
Well, I'm being a petty dick, but I admit it.
Right, and that's fine. You could be a petty dick about that. He
Yeah.
continues with that. Every movie on Ruggs' list, which I laughed out loud that he wrote it during the last episode, I agree is a great movie. I would add a couple of my own, Braveheart, Gladiator, but
both good.
But also agree that there is no such thing as a perfect movie. The point behind the question was to find out what he considered a great movie. And you put it out on your Twitter. You have that great list, Ruggs. So
Yeah,
we go.
I mean, they're really indisputable.
Yeah, they are. We could. I would talk about all those movies. He finishes with that. I wanted to add a couple of my own nitpicks after seeing Infinity War a few times now. First off, when the team goes to Wakanda, Cap is the only one that has been there. Yet when they go through the camo dome, nobody says a word. I would have expected someone to give some ADR line of, how the hell did you know about this place? Also, when Thor shows up with Rocket and Groot, first off, that part is probably my favorite in the movie, but everyone that is fighting in Wakanda is human. When a god teleports in with a walking tree and a talking gun-wielding raccoon, nobody bats an eye.
Well, they're fighting all Thanos' fucking
they're fighting
creatures.
those crazy outriders.
Like, anything goes at that
Well,
point.
he says, I'm a little okay with this one because they are fighting an alien horde. But in both instances, I personally could have used 1 or 2 lines of dialogue on that. Sorry for the long email and can't wait to talk Deadpool with you next week. Thanks, Ron. Yeah, you could have thrown in a line where they just like, holy crap, what's this place? But I mean, the movie is jam-packed as it is. You know, I love the line that Okoye says when Scarlet Witch shows up finally. And she's like, she was up there in the room this whole time. Why is she up there? Like, the little stuff like that is great, and they balanced it well. So I don't know if you could have shoved more lines in there.
Thanks for your feedback, Ron.
Ron's the best. Nobody gives a shit about what I think.
No, I'm just cutting you off.
Yes.
His feedback's good.
Yes, thanks for writing in, everyone. Thanks for listening. That's the show this week. Ruggs, where can the listener find you?
You can find me on Twitter, where I will be posting hashtags all day.
At Really Rug Boy, how's the Cardi B thing going?
No, that went away.
Oh, it's done. Good.
I had some support. Like, some women supported me in my argument.
Nice.
And there you go. So that's done. Like, people don't win with me. That's the thing that you have to realize. I will fight until the other person, like, just goes down. Like, until they get tired. Like there's nobody who's actually made me stop tweeting.
I love when people help the Felties. Support the Felties. Back them up. You will be doing the world a huge service. Thanks for listening to the Jock and Nerd Podcast. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's the nerd.
Tell a friend. Spread the geekery. We'll catch you next week.
Tell your mom.
Tell your mom.
If she reads comics, yeah.
Thank you, Mom, for letting her use your internet to listen to
What's
the
her
show.
name? Lynn Braden?
Lynn Braden. Yeah. Thank you very much for listening, for collecting comics. God bless you, Lynn.
I want to hear from this woman.
Me too.
Send a speak bite.
Lynn Braden, send us an email.